He is nothing but a seat warmer.
That's Prime Minister Philip Davis taking a hit at Free National Movement leader Michael Pintard, saying that he lacks what it takes to lead the country. At a charged Progressive Liberal Party men's branch meeting on Sunday, Davis told supporters that the Bahamian people deserve better, adding that they deserve a leader who will put in the work, saying that Pintard is just looking for a platform.
He's a parrot, not a poet. He repeats what powerful people want. Let me say, he repeats what powerful people want to hear. He mimics the voices of those who already have influence, instead of using his platform to speak for those who have none.
Davis accused the member of parliament from Marco City of failing to show up for Grand Bahamians, particularly during the recent signing of the Grand Lucaya Heads of Agreement.
Who claims to speak for Grand Bahamians was nowhere to be found. He didn't just miss a signing. He just didn't miss a signing. He missed a moment.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Davis suggested that the FNM may be trying to downplay or undermine the progress being made in Grand Bahama, stating that Pintard should put his ego aside.
Because deep down, what's good for Grand Bahama is bad for the FNM. Because progress exposes just how empty his politics really are. He couldn't clap for jobs. He couldn't stand for growth.
The opposition leader did not mince words, making it clear that the FNM stands firmly behind all efforts to drive the growth and development of the second city. But he did say this in a statement.
They say you can tell a lot about a man by how he responds under pressure. But it's clear, for our Prime Minister, pressure seemed to be tall. He's focused on the wrong things. He can't stop talking about the FNM, but he ignores the questions that need answers. Prime Minister needs to come clean already. I can't believe you pop the champagne and light up the fire.
Laurentia Smith, Eyewitness News.
Well, Progressive Liberal Party leader and Prime Minister Philip Davis is rallying the troops, telling PLP members it's time to get ready for the next election. Speaking at a men's branch meeting at the party headquarters, Davis stressed that unity is key to victory, and he warned that the party's biggest enemy isn't outside forces, but internal division.
This is not just about winning elections. It's about finishing the job we started. It's about locking in the gains we have made and refusing to let anyone drag this country backwards. We came to clean up the mess, and we are. We came to lift people up, and we are. But the job is not finished, and the other side is already preparing to tear it all down. So we cannot sit back. We cannot grow quiet. We cannot get distracted. We must move with urgency, with discipline, and with conviction. I want every stalwart councillor, every branch chair, every young lion and seasoned foot soldier to get back in motion. Touch your communities. Listen to your people. Stand on what we have done, but fight for what is still ahead.
Meanwhile, former Prime Minister Perry Christie, also on hand for that meeting, he stressed the importance of supporting and rallying behind Davis as he heads into the elections.
Very seriously, there is incredible pressure mounting every day on a person who is leader of a party that's the government of the country. Decisions will have to be made on who will be candidates in the next general election. Some people will be in, some people will be out. But at the end of the process, our foundation must be as strong as it could possibly be.
While the political mudslinging continues tonight as the opposition party shrugging off criticisms from PLP officials and supporters who say that the Free National Movement left a poor taste in the mouths of Grand Bahamians after not being present at an occasion that many residents say sparked hope for their future. Our Jose Etienne joining me live in studio to further discuss. Jose?
Janea, what's seemingly dominating political dialogue right now is the opposition Free National Movement's noticeable absence from a contract signing ceremony held in Grand Bahama last week to sell the Grand Lucaya Resort. Prime Minister Philip Davis has since lashed out at the F&M, suggesting that their absence was a display of immature leadership that can't be trusted. However, the F&M's chairman, Dr. Dwayne Sands, is returning fire, insisting that government use that event to simply get on the campaign trail.
The rally that was held in Grand Bahama was nothing more than, hey, let's kick off this campaign by trying to bamboozle the public.
That sums up Dr. Sands' views on the recent heads of agreement signing for the sale of the Grand Lucane Resort. And he's seemingly standing by members of his party who were missing in action during the ceremony.
How many times do you want us to go to one of these events only to hear a few months later that the deal didn't go through? And, ask Philip Davis whether he was present when we held the announcement.
The event held last week saw scores of Grand Bahamians and even supporters of the governing party gathered in a packed crowd, cheering officials on as they put pen to paper, hoping to fulfill a failed promise.
This was all about, giving props to this member of parliament and that minister and so on and so forth.
But the question remains, why wasn't the opposition there? Adding fuel to the fire is that two opposition members of parliament occupy seats in the nation's second city.
Let me speak for me. I was not invited.
Eyewitness News understands other opposition officials were invited, although party insiders claim it was a late invitation. Nonetheless, Sands says he was in Grand Bahama at the time of the ceremony, having to deal with another reminder of the country's failing healthcare system.
An anesthetic machine necessary to put people to sleep in order to provide safe surgery was irreparably damaged. Okay, the cost of either replacing that, you could get one for maybe $40,000. Okay. But what did they choose to do? Have a big party instead. Bring a bunch of people in. This show.
Now, Janelle, the opposition has its misgivings on whether a deal was actually struck. However, Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper told reporters that money is in the bank, asserting that a deal is now set in stone. Reporting live in studio, I'm Jose Etienne. Back to you, Janelle.
Thanks so much, Jose. Our Jose Etienne joining us live in studio tonight. Meantime, Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper also pushing back against those recent criticisms from the opposition following remarks made by Free National Movement leader Michael Pintard and his absence from the Grand Lucane Heads of Agreement signing ceremony. Cooper says the Davis administration is focused on progress for the Bahamian people, and further details involving that sale is forthcoming, he says.
Well, first of all, a lot of detail was revealed at the actual event, and he ought to have been there. Had he been there, he would have gotten significant amount of detail and color as to what the development is all about. Frankly, the people of Grand Bahama are excited about the project. It's going to work wonders for tourism in Grand Bahama. Grand Bahama is already up 11.6% in LF ahead of last year. Carnival Cruise Lines is coming. That's going to bring about 1 million guests this year and many millions next year. Big things are happening for Grand Bahama. And it is regrettable that some who wish to be leaders of our country don't appreciate the progress the way the people seem to be inspired by it. This is an exciting time for the island of Grand Bahama. No doubt the Prime Minister will provide further details in the House over the coming days and weeks.
Well, Cooper says that the sale is a part of a long-term plan to develop Grand Bahama economically.
But the reality is, we're making progress. We're supportive of the progress we're seeing in Grand Bahama. People are excited about that progress. And I once termed the F&M enemies of progress. So I trust that they will get on board. They will see the excitement in the economy of Grand Bahama, and they will get behind the new owners of the Grand Lucane Resort 100% and support this development. It's good for employment. It's good for entrepreneurship. It's good for the overall economy of Grand Bahama. I'm excited about it.
Meantime, former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis's absence, along with the other opposition officials, Also, the elephant in the room, however, Minnis says his absence has nothing to do with his high hopes that the $120 million deal struck between the Davis administration and Concord Wilshire will yield results. A new deal has been set in stone years after the former Minnis-led administration purchased the resort from China-based companies. Since then, the hotel has been stuck in failed negotiations.
No, I was not invited, but if I were invited, I would have gone because Grand Bahamas has been suffering a long time. And once there's any possibility of success or improvement, then one must put all politics aside and try to move Grand Bahama forward. There may be some concern at this particular point in time, but the most important thing is you want to see the government succeed. You want to see the people of Grand Bahama in a better condition, a better light.
Now, in a statement released by government spokesperson Latrey Ramming, communications director in the Office of the Prime Minister, he says that costs associated with the property will be assumed by the developer. Ramming describing it as a significant shift in fiscal responsibility given concerns about taxpayer dollars being used for maintenance at annual losses to the public purse. Minnis says he's optimistic about the deal as he's also standing by his decision to purchase it back in 2018.
And then there were lots of concerns about us purchasing the hotel. Individuals maintaining their job was most important to us, and at the same time, we were almost certain, well, I should say we were certain that things would go forward both between the Royal Caribbean and the ITM group. Unfortunately, we were struck with hurricane and other natural disasters, which would have caused many companies throughout the world serious hardship. And as a result, the project had not advanced. But the government has announced a project to move forward. Mm-hmm. I am not aware of what are the intricacies, what are the various agreements, but I would want the best for the Bahamas.
Well, labor officials confirming tonight that following their pop-up visit to Norman's Key off Exuma last week, investigations are now exploring and combing through each claim, noting that no stone will be left unturned. Our Linton Ritchie Jr. has been following the story. He has the latest in this report tonight.
Claims of alleged human trafficking, inhabitable living conditions, and outstanding salary payments are all being described as, quote, the worst of the worst by labor officials as an investigation has been launched into Norman's Key. On Friday, an Eyewitness News exclusive interview with whistleblowers revealed the reported stinging claims and conditions workers on the Key are reportedly enduring. Director of Labor Howard Thompson says the way forward will be a multi-governmental approach.
This is number one priority for me, and the Department of Labor, immigration won't rest until we get all of these issues resolved.
A former staffer released videos to Eyewitness News that showed the alleged conditions of mold-filled ceilings, sewerage overspill, and reported tents that employees are being housed in. So with investigators deeming these alleged claims as the most horrific, reporters posed a question on the various elements being purported by ex and current staffers and what was told to labor officials during last week's sting operations, inclusive of immigration personnel.
Human trafficking, there's allegations of breaches of environmental laws, so on and so forth. So I haven't seen this with respect to the other keys.
Minister of Labor and Public Service Pia Glover making it clear that the alleged mistreatment of workers will not be tolerated, whether that's here in the capital or on the smallest key.
There's the concept that on the remote islands that, there's a lot of infraction to the laws. Well, the Department of Labor is coming to those remote islands to ensure that our workers' rights are not only protected on our major islands, but also on those keys.
Eyewitness News understands that on Monday afternoon, former employees on the Key have officially submitted trade dispute claims to the Department of Labor. And investigators say visits of 2 to 3 times monthly will be carried out to uncover all the truths or untruths. Linton Ritchie Jr., Eyewitness News.
Well, the Labor Minister, Pia Glover-Roll, also expressing hope that 2 bones of contention that are standing in the way of a finalized deal with the Consultant Physician Staff Association will be addressed. Glover-Roll's comments come as the CPSA's president, Dr. Sherelle Lockhart, recently voiced her disaffection over a stagnant deal that she says left members feeling disgruntled.
I know that the CPSA received, the evening of their press conference, received that proposal from the PHA. I'm of the understanding that it's being discussed, and I'm hopeful that the discussions will come to a conclusion this week so we can move forward with a final proposal. Again, there were only one or two clauses that were left to be debated, to be negotiated, and that is being discussed at this time between CPSA, PHA, and Finance. So I continue to be optimistic that we will get this agreement signed shortly.
Well, on to news from the courts tonight. Social media commentator Omar Archer Sr. denying claims that he threatened to physically attack a local pastor while being arraigned in the magistrate's court. Prosecutors got a hold of a video that purportedly shows Archer issuing threats to Bishop Trent Davis, who heads the Golden Gates World Outreach Ministries. Archer was arrested in connection to the complaint on May 15th and was formally charged a day later. Archer's bail has been set at $1,000. He's expected to return to court on June 10th for his trial. Well, a 20-year-old man now being questioned by police in Abaco in connection to a burglary and alleged sexual assault incident that reportedly occurred at a home in Central Pines on Sunday morning. Authorities say a female resident was reportedly awakened by a male who allegedly entered the home without permission and attempted to sexually assault her. The culprit then reportedly fled the scene but was later taken into police custody. Investigations on this matter are ongoing tonight. Well, the life and legacy of Rodney Munker now being remembered tonight. A memorial service is being held. Our Linton Ritchie Jr. joins us live with the details. Linton?
Good evening, Janaea. That's right. I'm live here outside of the St. Joseph's Roman Catholic Church here on Boyd Road, where family, friends, loved ones, and the wider community have all gathered in these doors directly behind me to remember and celebrate the life of former Senator and Bahamian trailblazer, Mr. Rodney Munker. Now, of course, Mr. Munker died earlier this month after falling ill at the Princess Margaret Hospital. And once news broke about his passing, there was widespread grief shared among the nation, with people remembering him to be the true Bahamian icon that he was. Now, I'm joined here with Mr. Bradley Roll, who co-hosted Freedom March with Mr. Rodney Munker for years and brought laughter to thousands of Bahamians television and in their homes. Mr. Roll, I know it's been a tough few weeks for you since the passing of Mr. Munker. Now, what do you want people to remember when they hear the name Rodney Munker since his passing?
When I want people to remember Rodney Munker as a very strong and courageous man, a man who, as far as the politics is concerned, was willing to go where no man in political landscape of the Bahamas went. A man who had a heart for the people, a man who felt along with those who were very unfortunate. I want people to always remember Rodney as a very powerful, outspoken, and basically outright honest person, in my opinion.
And what do you think you will miss the most about Mr. Munker? I know you sat with him countless amount of times every night for 2 hours. What will you miss the most of sitting next to him and, sharing information with thousands of Bahamians?
Rodney was a man who was extremely intelligent. He was witty. But what I'm going to miss about him most is he's able to make the load lighter for you. I don't think any human being has made me laugh as much as he did, and that did a lot for my life. The various stresses I may have been going through, coming on the Freedom March, relieved those stresses and helped me to get through whatever pain I was going through.
Definitely, that's right, Mr. Roland. For sure, there were hundreds of viral moments between you and Mr. Munker, and I'm sure that those will live on in Bahamian history. Yes, so you just heard from the co-host of Freedom March, Mr. Bradley Roll, who is also expected to bring remarks here at this memorial service. I can tell you that moments before we went up on this live coverage, Janaea, there were numerous past and present government officials. Some of them are set to speak on the program as well. That is former Prime Ministers Mr. Hubert Ingram, and also Perry Christie, and current Prime Minister Philip Davis is also expected to bring remarks as well tonight here at the St. Joseph's Roman Catholic Church. Of course, this will be followed by a funeral service on Friday, a state-recognized funeral service for Mr. Munker at the St. Francis Roman Catholic Church. So, of course, we will stay tuned here tonight and keep posted to all our digital platforms for the latest here of this memorial service to remember the life of Bahamian entertainment icon, trailblazer, and radio co-host, former Senator Mr. Rodney Munker. I'm Linton Ritchie Jr., reporting live from St. Joseph's Roman Catholic Church, sending it back to the desk, Janelle.
Thanks so much, Linton. Our Linton Ritchie Jr., of course, covering memorial services now being held for our colleague and beloved friend here at the ILTV studios, Rodney Munker. Condolences, of course, are extended to the Munker family. Well, if you've got a news tip or if you've seen news in the making, call the Ion News hotline, 397-6397. We also invite you to send your letters to the editor for publication on all of our social media platforms, Eyewitness News Bahamas at gmail.com. And if you're watching on our Facebook or YouTube page, share your thoughts about today's stories in the comments section. We want to hear from you. We're just getting started in Eyewitness News tonight, but when we come back, the Davis administration's push to develop the Family Islands takes shape. We've got that story coming up. And later tonight, mediation is set this week between the Norwegian Cruise Line management and ex-workers over alleged wrongful termination. We've got more on that right after this break.
While others see customers as numbers, we see our customers as people, neighbors, friends who deserve more than one-sided connections. That's why we are redefining what real connection is, by prioritizing our customers and showing our appreciation by putting our money where your loyalty is. BTC customers, claim your $200 Bahamas Air gift card when you add postpaid mobile to your internet plan. That's loyalty that flows both ways.
No. Hey, look, KFC has an incredible promo.
I already had that for lunch.
Crunch your hunger cravings and satisfy the whole family with KFC bucket meals starting at just $20. Get freshly prepared golden fried chicken, buttery biscuits, and add your favorite large sides. Bucket meals starting at just $20. KFC, finger licking good.
Looking for insurance that fits your lifestyle and your budget? At Star General Insurance, we've got you covered. Whether it's motor insurance with flexible options for third-party liability and comprehensive coverage, or commercial insurance products that protect your business, we have choices you can afford. Own a home or renting? Our home insurance products have just what you need. And for the adventurers out there, we offer marine insurance too. Visit our website or social media pages for contact information and quotes. Star General, insurance made simple.
We're all in this boat together. It takes a team to do it. It doesn't take one person or 3 people, 5 people. It takes a team of people to pull this thing off.
We have about 72 employees in Freeport, and the rest are in Nassau, Abelkona, Luthra, a total of over 165.
A lot of people are not aware that Sans is brewed here in the Bahamas. It's produced here in Grand Bahama Island after Dorian, and especially during the pandemic. Every time I saw a bottle of beer, every time I saw a Sans product, it represented resilience.
The only thing I can say to Bahamian people is to support your own.
All of us are in this boat together, our staff, the country, everyone. And we've been through a lot of rough patches, taken on water, bailed the water out, and now it's time to be sailing forward. And we need everyone's support to make that happen.
Measles is on the rise around the world, and the Bahamas is at risk,
which makes us very vulnerable as a nation for the possible outbreak of measles cases.
Every Saturday in May from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., the Ministry of Health and Wellness will host MMR immunization visits in South Beach, Coconut Grove, Fox Hill, and Elizabeth Estates. Clinics in these areas will remain open until 8 p.m. twice per week. Get your child immunized now.
This segment of Eyewitness News is brought to you by EV Motors. It's your last chance to get behind the wheel and drive the evolution. Secure the Toyota BZ4X, Mercedes-Benz EQB 260, Carry Cargo Van, or Carry Elephant X7 truck, with prices starting as low as $309.88 per month. Hurry before they're gone. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back. Here's a look at your Eyewitness News gas tracker. You're getting the cheapest tonight at Esso, $5.43. Shell coming in at $5.46. Rubis, $5.55. Welcome back You're watching Eyewitness News. Well, authorities need your help tonight in finding Denisha Garson Timothy, who's reportedly missing. Police say the 14-year-old girl was last seen at her Wrights Lane residence on Sunday night around 8 p.m. You would have heard the Marco alert earlier today. Authorities say the young girl's complexion is brown. She's of slim build, and her height is unknown. If you have any information on her whereabouts, you're asked to contact police at 919 or 328-TIPS. Police are also searching for Shurin Brown. He's an 85-year-old man who authorities say has been missing since Thursday, May 8th, at his Buttercup Lane residence. The elderly man is said to be of dark brown complexion, his build medium. However, his height is also unknown. Residents are asking for you to have a watchful eye and reach out to police if you see him at 502-9991 or 328-TIPS. The Davis administration's efforts to develop the Family Islands gaining momentum, and in Maguana, a transformation is already underway. A new multi-million-dollar airport is being hailed as a game changer, boosting connectivity, driving tourism, and paving the way for long-term growth. According to Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper, the project is back on track and could mark the beginning of a new chapter for the island. Our Delano Roker traveled to the island today. He has the details in this report.
Mayaguana remains one of the Bahamas' most remote islands, but that distance may soon feel much shorter. A new $5 million airport, currently under construction, is expected to reshape the island's future. Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper, during a site visit today, said the facility will feature modern amenities designed to accommodate increased airlift, improve safety standards, and support carriers, after years of the project being stalled.
Many people may know that the Mayaguana Island Development Group had certain obligations, and we are pleased that they stepped forward to fulfill those obligations to the people of Mayaguana and the people of the Bahamas. We embarked 3 years ago on the Family Island Renaissance program. We are happy that it's happening right now. We're happy that the government was able to facilitate last year the renewal of the approvals to get this project going again. It had stalled for quite some time, and now it's happening, and I know the people of Mayaguana are pleased.
The project, expected to be completed soon, is a part of the Davis administration's wider multi-island development strategy, a plan aimed at strengthening infrastructure across the Family Islands. Cooper says the goal is to ensure equitable growth, not just in Nassau or Grand Bahama, but throughout the entire archipelago.
Mayaguana has significant potential, and it is our far-flung member of the family of islands. In our Blueprint for Change, we talked a lot about developing a new port here in Mayaguana. There is some interest for developments of land and hotels, etc. We believe and we hope that the completion of phase 1 of this facility will be a catalyst for additional investment and additional growth here in the island of Mayaguana.
The Mayaguana Airport is just one piece of a much broader plan. Former Tourism Minister Vincent Vanderpool Wallace says the project ties into a long-term vision for sustainable economic development.
There's a reason for that expansion, because if this is kind of a southern hub for what is going to happen in the Bahamas, you have in the north, you have Grand Bahama, in the center, you have New Providence. You need something in the south to get going, and this is it. And the DPM, mentioned obliquely about a port development. That is one of the areas of significant opportunity. This happens to be exactly 800 nautical miles from the Panama Canal directly. And those of you who wish to stay overnight can stay here and go on shore and see cruise ships passing by, container vessels passing by. So it's perfectly within the area that this thing is aimed to target for development.
I'm standing in the departure section of the new airport being developed in Mayaguana. As the Deputy Prime Minister said, this is a grand step in innovation for the island. I'm Delano Roker, Eyewitness News.
Thanks, Delano. Well, as preparations are being made for the budget expected to be presented next week, Wednesday, our Laurentia Smith speaking with a local economist who believes that this year's national budget is one to watch. She has the details in this report.
In just little over a week, the Davis administration is set to unveil its 2025-2026 national budget in Parliament. Local economist Gawain Bo says all eyes will be on what is expected to be a particularly interesting fiscal plan, especially amid ongoing economic challenges, while adding that this is the last fiscal budget before an election year.
We should have an update on some of the other initiatives that are in process. So the government later came with the Grand Bahama Port Authority for several $100 million. So where are we in terms of potential collections relative to that particular arbitration that's going on? Equally, this is the largest revenue outturn that we have had in our history, but yet we are still running deficits. So what does this mean for our tax balance?
Meanwhile, Bo remains uncertain on how the proceeds from the Grand Lucaya sales will appear on this year's budget. He explains that the recent signing with Concord Wilshire Capital was merely a heads of agreement, not a final conveyance of property.
Then you would expect to see that the budget would have allocation for those sums. So we know constructing an airport, if government is taking that on directly, that's a major capital infrastructure expenditure, and that would have to be included. We know that there may be other elements in terms of approvals, environmental impact studies, etc. Those would be largely included in the budget in terms of the expenditure on the part of the government. So this could have a very significant impact on the budget that is closing out 2024-25 and the budget for 25-26.
Recently, Prime Minister and Minister of Finance Philip Davis says that the country's record-breaking economic growth is no stroke of good luck, citing new data from the Bahamas National Statistic Institute. He noted that the real GDP rose by 3.4% in 2024, far outpacing global forecasts. Crediting strong political decision and record investments, Bo had this to say about the fate of the country's GDP.
But that means our revenue to GDP, or in other terms, tax to GDP, that the government was targeting at 25%, with a growing GDP and the absence of new taxation, then the tax to GDP ratio will decrease. And certainly the government will have to indicate how they intend to increase that with the new areas of the economy that are required.
Laurencia Smith, Eyewitness News.
Well, with the Davis administration's budget exercise on the horizon, Bahamas Union of Teachers President Belinda Wilson, she's highlighting some concerns that she says continues to be ignored by successive governments. She made those comments as she also revealed that she's currently preparing a proposed industrial agreement that will be presented to officials in the near future. Now, her expectations come as key focus areas that government looks at in its budget for teachers are salary increases and reviews, benefits, and hires. This as in his recent budget communication, Prime Minister Philip Davis announced a pending salary review and benefits for teachers and administrators as a part of a wider effort to quell their concerns.
We still have the issues, though, of human resource management. Human resource matters. So the confirmations, the reclassifications, the promotions, those have been a challenge, perennial. And it seems as though there's like no light at the end of the tunnel because the emphasis on human resource management in education in particular does not seem to be a priority. So we definitely need to have persons who are skilled, who have expertise in human resource management so that they would know what it is that needs to be done when a file is placed in front of them. Because a lot of times you would contact 2 to 3 or 4 officers on one question and you can get 2 to 3 or 4 different answers. And so they need to know what the standards are, what the policies are, what are the regulations. So it has to be improvement in that area.
Well, a mediation is set to take place this week between Norwegian Cruise Line, expat workers, and management 1 month after ex-staffers allege wrongful termination, outstanding payments, and claims of being overworked. Director of Labor Howard Thompson providing an update after an investigation was launched into the cruise line and the claims on Great Stirrup Key, noting that all avenues had to be investigated.
You know, it's usually 2 sides of the story. The truth is somewhere in the middle. And so I don't want to preempt what's about to happen very soon, which is a mediation, a virtual mediation with the the expat foreign managers and Norwegian Cruise Line. The expat managers would have asked for more time for them to consult their attorneys, and so we should be having that mediation maybe before the end of the week, early part of next week. So after that, I'll be able to give you a better update on what's happening with that investigation. But I will say that the senior management team down in Great Stirrup Key, they are taking great steps to immediate correction of a lot of the complaints that came into my office and the Department of Immigration office.
Well, with those expat workers alleging that they were fired without cause, reporters posed the question to Thompson on if these claims were substantiated.
It's very, very difficult to say at the moment. I don't want to preempt the mediation, but there are questions of the applicable law to apply. As I said, these are some expat workers who may have been under the Norwegian ship line contract. So the legal question is what, if any, makes of it if they're working in the Bahamas. Does the law with respect to the cruise line apply, or does the law with respect to Bahamian law apply? But I don't want to preempt what's going to happen at the mediation, where I've invited the attorneys from both sides for the managers as well as the company to join in on that virtual meeting.
Well, still to come tonight, a young Bahamian designer. She's set to take her clothing brand global. We've got the details coming up, but first, here's a check on tonight's weather forecast.
Hi, I'm Melissa, and I'm a survey enumerator with the Bahamas National Statistical Institute, or BNSI. For the next few months, we will be conducting the Household Expenditure Survey on various islands.
You might be wondering, why is this survey important? Well, it helps us to determine the poverty line and assess how to ensure everyone has access to the basic services they need. This information is used by the government, businesses, researchers, and students to make informed decisions and plan for the future. We know that your time is valuable, which is why we've made the survey as simple and easy as possible. And don't worry, all your information you provide is confidential.
Your participation will help us gather accurate information that will benefit everyone in the Bahamas. Thank you for your cooperation and being a part of shaping the future of the Bahamas.
At the Water and Sewage Corporation, safety and convenience are our top priorities. However, our meter readers face challenges that can make their job difficult. Locked gates to guard dogs sometimes leads to missed readings and estimated bills, which can be frustrating for you and us. That's why we're upgrading to digital meters. They bring safety, accuracy, and convenience to homes across the Bahamas. We can streamline data collection, reduce on-site visits, and provide more accurate bills with no more estimates. Digital meters also help detect leaks early, saving you from costly bills and reducing water waste. Soon, a user-friendly app will let you track your water usage, manage bills, and stay informed, all at your fingertips. Over the next year, we're rolling out digital meters nationwide, transforming how we serve you with a safer and cost-efficient water supply. To learn about our digital meters, visit our website or call us today. And don't forget to update your information at any of our locations.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
In 2010, a grant helped Bahamas striping group of companies get started. Today, that seed has grown into a national force, building roads, airports, and brighter futures. Now, we're leading the way through public-private partnerships, what we call 3 Ps, where government vision meets private sector innovation. 3Ps empowers local subcontractors, giving them the chance to bid. And with every contract, we're putting money directly into communities, creating jobs, supporting families, and fueling growth. From roads in Eleuthera to community centers in the inner city, we're not just laying asphalt, we're laying foundations for financial opportunity. At Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, we believe in building more than infrastructure. We're building up Bahamians who build the Bahamas. 3Ps, public-private partnerships for people, progress, and prosperity.
You're watching Eyewitness News.
Welcome back. A young Bahamian fashion designer will soon have her clothing brand featured on the walkway across the pond, with goals to catapult her homemade pieces into the world of international fashion. Linton Ritchie Jr. has this feature in this week's Buying Local with Linton.
Eyewitness, an island-inspired clothing brand made right here in the Bahamas at the hands of local fashion designer Indira Moss, who's been in the industry now for decades, but found her touch as a young teen. Eyewitness News sat down with Moss for this week's Buying Local with Linton, who's set to jet off to Paris in the next few months, hoping to catapult Eyewitness and put her twist of Androsian resort wear on the global scale.
It's called Flying Solo Paris Fashion Week. It's for independent designers, small designers who aren't owned by big companies but still deserve a place to show their talent to the world.
With an industry described by Moss as a small one in our country, she emphasizes the importance of being visible for young dreamers.
To inspire other people, coming after me is what keeps me going a lot. It's not easy, and it may actually be easier for them.
Moss gave us a tour inside of Craft Cottages, a storefront that has her designs from shirts to dresses and even stuffed animals. But what does the Bahamian fashionista hopes persons get out of her wear?
For that, I would say wearable art, but fashion isn't just clothes. It's an art form as well. And it's great that you could have a piece of art that you could wear every day.
And with the Paris trip set to take Eyewitness's island brand to new international heights, Eyewitness News got a sneak peek at an upcoming independence wear she's launching to gain funds for the trip.
The aqua and the gold, or the dilly marine as it's called in Androsia colors. This is the long style, and then for the men, it will be just a short sleeve shirt.
But for those hoping to get their hands on a piece of authentic Bahamian wear,
to get Eyewitness, you can follow me and contact me on Facebook or Instagram. It's at Eyewitness Style, or on WhatsApp or by phone, 828-2365. And then we'll chat. You tell me what you need in terms of custom work.
Linton Ritchie Jr., Eyewitness News.
Well, still to come in Eyewitness News tonight, our Laurentia Smith has your latest check on sports right after this break.
With samples, giveaways, and pop-up events, the celebrations continue at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Libby spaghetti and meatballs, 15 ounces, $1.59. Robin Hood flour, 5.5 pounds, $4.99. Sweet watermelons, seedless, $6.99 each. Sweet mangoes, 2 for $3. Whole chicken wings, $1.69 per pound. Join the Super Value Quality Points program at any Super Value and Quality supermarkets.
Come and visit us at Shop Smart, 'cause everything is here.
Yes, we have it all for you. Toys, clothing, office supplies, appliances, custom cut blinds, bedding, drapes, and rugs. Come and visit us on Mackey Street, 2 blocks down from Wolf Road. Call us at 698-1052.
Shop Smart, at Shop Smart, at Shop Smart. Oh, everything is here.
Why did we decide to put together our country's first nationwide comprehensive energy reforms? We knew that there were no easy answers. BPL was more than $500 million in debt when we came in. operating a failed electricity grid with key components on the verge of collapse. A grid incapable of transmitting solar energy. Changing all of this is a huge project, one that is finally underway. The sky-high bills, the chronic power outages, they've hurt Bahamian families and Bahamian businesses. We are going to leave all of that in the past. We are taking it all on, and transforming energy is going to transform our economy. Go online now to learn more.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance, peace of mind.
What you doing, man?
I'm getting ready for this heat, babe. But you want to see what's in this box? The ghost pepper chicken sandwich, babe. Get an apple pie, fries, and ghost pepper chicken wing. You see it? You look at me? Four. Yeah, babe.
Try our new Ghost Pepper Chicken Box today. Available for a limited time only.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Eyewitness Sports is brought to you by 103.5 The Beat.
Good evening and welcome to another edition of Eyewitness Sports. I'm Laurencia Smith. Thanks for joining us. Topping sports tonight. It was a weekend filled with celebration for our WNBA superstar, Jonquel Jones, who not only received her 2024 championship ring, but she also received an honorary degree from her alma mater, George Washington University, where she delivered the commencement speech for 2025, marking a special milestone in both her professional and academic journey. Now, Jones and the Liberty opened their 2025 WNBA season in style, not just with a tip-off, but also a W over the Las Vegas Aces, 92-79. In that matchup, JJ delivered a double-double, 17 points and 10 boards in 30 minutes of action. Congratulations, JJ, from all of us here at Eyewitness Sports. Tonight, we're featuring a dedicated coach who is perhaps training the country's next Olympian superstar. It's safe to say that a nation of just 400,000 people is reemerging as a powerhouse in the quarter-miler event at the junior level. The Bahamas left no doubt about its dominance at the recent Carifta Track and Field Games in Trinidad and Tobago. Meet one of the architects behind the junior level resurgence, Coach Darren Lightburn, head coach of Bahamas Speed Dynamic Track Club.
Working for a while inside of the quarter mile, but I say, you know what, let's take our time, and we are now reporting back to Carifta and showing that the Bahamas is dominance inside the 400 meters.
Lightburn's athletes lit up the track with gold medal performances at the games. Egan Neely and Zaya Miller powered to victory in the under-17 and the under-20 boys 400 meters, bringing home gold in a commanding fashion. Jacario Wilson added to the medal haul with a brilliant win in the under-17 400-meter hurdles. But the dominance didn't stop there. Neely, Wilson, and their training partner, Jonathan Higgs, teamed up to shatter the Carifta record in the under-17 4x400-meter relay alongside Jara Woodside. A true testament to the work that he's putting in with his athletes.
It's exciting. You know, I coach them, so I've been building them and developing them to come to this point now. You know, we've been lacking for a while inside of the quarter mile, but I say, you know what, let's take our time, and we are now reporting back to Carifta.
Lightburn shared that preparing his athletes for the track takes a lot of work. He explains that their training follows a cycle: off-season, pre-competition, and competition phase.
From the off-season, I put a lot of volume in there, right? So then you start to understand which athlete can handle this, which athlete can handle that. Then we try to make sure things are well and be able to fine-tune them and get them prepared for the championship.
Now serving as the head coach of the Bahamas Athletics Association of Coaches, Liburn emphasized the vital role coaches plays in developing the very best talent the country has to offer.
We can initiate the sprint coaches working with the distant people, the sprint coaches working with the pole vaulters, the jumpers, because speed is an element that all of the athletes need. Once we work together as coaches and put our ideas together and pool our resources of knowledge, we can be able to come out on top.
Well, that's what's making sports at this hour. I'm Laurencia Smith. Stay tuned for more news on the other side of the break.
Join us on Social Mania, a new and dynamic game show based on the Ministry of Education's primary and junior high school social studies curriculum. Students from schools across the Bahamas go head-to-head as their knowledge of social studies is challenged. In this episode, Gambier Primary battles with Sadie Curtis Primary School. Which school will emerge as winner? To find out, join us as these two schools engage in intense competition. Don't miss it.
Preschool unit of the Department of Education hosted the 8th annual Andrea D. Wisdom Sports Day as part of Preschool Week celebrations recently. Named in honor of late educator Andrea Wisdom, the event brings together preschoolers from every public preschool within New Providence to build sportsmanship, athleticism, and camaraderie at an early age. Brother of Miss Andrea Wisdom and former Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, Mr. Neville Wisdom, reflected on his sister's impact on preschool education.
It was an initiative of the Preschool Association years ago. And our family, the Wisdom family, we welcomed the opportunity to have our sister remembered. Andrea Wisdom is the person most responsible for the initiation of early childhood education in a formal way into the school system in the Bahamas. She was the first person to do an advanced degree in early childhood education and came back home and convinced the then Minister Paul Adley that young kids, even at an early age, can learn in an official and organized way. And what you see today is a result of her hard work. And so her peers, those that spent time with her, and even those who followed her, decided they wanted to honor her by naming this event after her.
Wisdom expressed his appreciation for the department's recognition of his sister's contribution to preschool education in the Bahamas.
I want, on behalf of the family, to thank the government of the Bahamas because they advised us they're going to be naming a school, a preschool, in honor of Andrea D. Wisdom.
John Lee McIntosh for Air Talk.
7.5 years, but I walk in here all of a sudden, total stranger. I'm calling you Rick and Sheila.
At Island Luck, we take sports seriously. Get ready to experience the thrill of winning anytime and any place. Bet in real time and live the thrill of every play while watching your winnings stack up. It's your chance to score big with fast payouts and a world-class experience. Get in the game and bet the Bahamian way with Island Luck Sportsbook.
You're watching Eyewitness News.
Well, that wraps up news at this hour, but coming up and beyond the headlines with Shanique Miller. It's a look at today's top stories, also hot topics. That's coming up and beyond the headlines. It starts right after this. That does it for us here at Eyewitness News. It's certainly been a pleasure having you in our company tonight. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Janae Noel, saying good night and be safe, everyone.
Edenwell has expanded their testing menu.
We now offer blood work, drug screening, and so much more. Our hours of operation are Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., located on 11 Madera Street. We are here for all of your laboratory needs, with fast and reliable lab work done by our friendly and knowledgeable staff. Let us help you take the needed steps to stay in the know about your health. Let's keep working towards a healthier you. Stay eating well.
Need a new car for your business? Well, EV Motors and the Bahamas Development Bank have some news for you.
At the Bahamas Development Bank, we are committed to promoting Bahamian businesses and entrepreneurs. With our green lending program, businesses are able to access up to 100% financing to purchase electric vehicles for commercial and fleet use. We are so excited to partner with EV Motors for this initiative to encourage and empower business owners to drive green.
If you haven't visited our dealership on Tonic Williams Starling Highway as yet, we have a wide variety of brand new EVs from some of your favorite brands like Toyota, BYD, and Mercedes-Benz. As the official distributor of Kerry Commercial Vehicles, we offer a selection of high-performance commercial EVs. Currently, you can purchase the Kerry Cargo Van and the Kerry Elephant Truck, and soon flatbeds and box trucks for all your business needs.
To access up to 100% financing to purchase an EV for your business, you will need to provide us with a few documents: the business plan or executive summary, business license, historical financials, relevant KYC documents, and the vehicle and insurance quote.
With an interest rate of 6.75% and a repayment period of up to 8 years, you don't want to miss this fantastic opportunity.
To apply, visit our website today at bahamasdevelopmentbank.com or give us a call at 702-5700.
Tired of driving around from place to place just to get your car insured and licensed? Frustrated with the process of being back and forth from your insurance company to road traffic? Well, BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers just made insuring and licensing your motor vehicle as easy as 1, 2, 3. Step 1. Visit us at the Road Traffic Department, Section 1, Thomas A. Robinson Sports Stadium. At our office, you can purchase or renew your insurance or get your vehicle inspected. We at BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers represent major carriers. Step 2. See the professionals at Road Traffic to get your vehicle licensed. Step 3. Enjoy your day. Insure with BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers today, saving you time and money. Your one-stop shop for all of your insurance needs. Great rates, convenient, excellent service. For more information, call us at 322-2221.
So you want a space. But not just any space. You need something with a little more potential. So how about 1,000 square feet of room to play with? Superb audio and video production capability, digital LED wall, full lighting grid, and about 124 seats to accommodate a full studio audience with so many other features. Make us your home for your next concert, conference, and so much more. Honestly, the possibilities are endless. Here at ILTV Studios, we'd love to bring your next event to life. So what do you say? Do you want our space?
Edenwell has expanded their testing menu. We now offer blood work, drug screening, and so much more. Our hours of operation are Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., located on 11 Madera Street. We are here for all of your laboratory needs, with fast and reliable lab work done by our friendly and knowledgeable staff. Let us help you take the needed steps to stay in the know about your health. Let's keep working towards a healthier you. Stay eating well.
Need a new car for your business? Well, EV Motors and the Bahamas Development Bank have some news for you.
At the Bahamas Development Bank, we are committed to promoting Bahamian businesses and entrepreneurs. With our green lending program, businesses are able to access up to 100% financing to purchase electric vehicles for commercial and fleet use. We are so excited to partner with EV Motors for this initiative to encourage and empower business owners to drive green.
If you haven't visited our dealership on Tonic Williams Starling Highway as yet, we have a wide variety of brand new EVs from some of your favorite brands like Toyota, BYD, and Mercedes-Benz. As the official distributor of Kerry commercial vehicles, we offer a selection of high-performance commercial EVs. Currently, you can purchase the Kerry Cargo Van and the Kerry Elephant Truck, and soon flatbeds and box trucks for all your business needs.
To access up to 100% financing to purchase an EV for your business, you will need to provide us with a few documents: the business plan or executive summary, business license, historical financials, relevant KYC documents, and the vehicle and insurance quote.
With an interest rate of 6.75% and a repayment period of up to 8 years, you don't want to miss this fantastic opportunity.
To apply, visit our website today at bahamasdevelopmentbank.com or give us a call at 702-5700.
Tired of driving around from place to place just to get your car insured and licensed? Frustrated with the process of being back and forth from your insurance company to road traffic? Well, BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers just made insuring and licensing your motor vehicle as easy as 1, 2, 3. Step 1. Visit us at the Road Traffic Department, Section 1, Thomas A. Robinson Sports Stadium. At our office, you can purchase or renew your insurance or get your vehicle inspected. We at BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers represent major carriers. Step 2. See the professionals at Road Traffic to get your vehicle licensed. Step 3. Enjoy your day. Insure with BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers today, saving you time and money. Your one-stop shop for all of your insurance needs. Great rates, convenient, excellent service. For more information, call us at 322-2221.
The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers on Beyond the Headlines are not necessarily those of management, ownership, or production unit of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without express written permission of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2021.
Coming up tonight, Michael Pintard, a seat warmer? Well, according to Prime Minister Davis, that's the case. He said this at the weekend, questioning if the leader of the opposition ever held a real job. Well, Pintard says pressure is tall in the Davis camp, obviously, as he can't stop talking about the F&M. Meanwhile, Pintard insists the general election is months away as the Davis administration is gearing up to ring the bell on or before September. That's right, this September. Pintard pointing this out, saying the Grand Bahama Lucaya deal is nothing more than an election charm. Later tonight, the state of immigration and citizenships in the Bahamas. Former Immigration Minister Ellsworth Johnson joins me. This is Beyond the Headlines. Good evening. I'm Shanique Miller. It's great to have you along this evening. Well, Prime Minister Davis delivering strong remarks that the leader of the opposition, calling him a seat warmer, and claims that he has never held a real job and is unfit to lead the country. We get this story from Laurencia Smith, and then we come back and jump in.
Michael Pintard is not a serious leader. He is nothing but a seat warmer.
That's Prime Minister Philip Davis taking a hit at Free National Movement leader Michael Pintard, saying that he lacks what it takes to lead the country. At a charged Progressive Liberal Party men's branch meeting on Sunday, Davis told supporters that the Bahamian people deserve better, adding that they deserve a leader who will put in the work, saying that Pintard is just looking for a platform.
He's a parrot, not a poet. He repeats what powerful people want. Let me say, he repeats what powerful people want to hear. He mimics the voices of those who already have influence, instead of using his platform to speak for those who have none.
Davis accused the member of parliament from Marco City of failing to show up for Grand Bahamians, particularly during the recent signing of the Grand Lucaya Heads of Agreement.
Who claims to speak for Grand Bahamians was nowhere to be found. He didn't just miss a signing. He just didn't miss a signing. He missed
a moment.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Davis suggested that the FNM may be trying to downplay or undermine the progress being made in Grand Bahama, stating that Printard should put his ego aside.
Because deep down, what's good for Grand Bahama is bad for the FNM. Because progress exposes just how empty his politics really are. He couldn't clap for jobs. He couldn't stand for growth.
The opposition leader did not mince words, making it clear that the FNM stands firmly behind all efforts to drive the growth and development of the second city. But he did say this in a statement.
They say you can tell a lot about a man by how he responds under pressure. But it's clear, for our Prime Minister, pressure seemed to be tall. He's focused on the wrong things. He can't stop talking about the FNM. But he ignores the questions that need answers. Prime Minister needs to come clean already. I can't believe you pop the champagne and light up the fire.
Laurencia Smith, Eyewitness News.
Well, Michael Pintard said pressure tall. You all know the saying, say that, the Prime Minister is feeling it as he can't keep his eyes or mouth of the Free National Movement. We're going to jump in right there this evening. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines. Beyond the Headlines contributor, Garth Rosborough. Garth, good evening to you. It's good to have you here. Welcome to the show.
It's a pleasure to be here. It was a hot day today, Shanique Miller.
Oh, very, yes.
It started so hot that I couldn't accomplish any task today. I was just driving out there and sweating, and I had to go home and sleep before I came here tonight.
Oh, so you just came from home after a nap?
It's hot. This is going to be a very hot summer.
No, very hot summer. But you see what's also even perhaps hotter than the weather, and that is obviously the political season that started already.
Definitely.
What do you make of Prime Minister Davis saying, listen, Michael Pintard is not suited to lead this country, not suited to hold such a job, given that he has not held many others in his professional life?
We have seen the whole history of this particular term of governance where we ask the questions, how strong is the governance of the Progressive Liberal Party based on Vision 2040? They brought this out very strongly. We saw them subside. And then we looked for the royal opposition to bring some strength as if to keep their feet to the fire, and we were not able to even get that. Then we saw now the jesting taking place where the royal opposition leader began to call the Honorable Prime Minister Philip, which I had an issue with that myself, but this is now the season. That is when I would say it officially actually started, when you call the man Philip. So now the man is now responding to you and saying, okay, you want to throw some little punches at me? Let me throw my knockout punch on you. And this is a conversation that we've been circulating throughout the country. What is his career path? People have been asking that question. There are people in the FNM who have asked me the question, what is his...
FNMs are asking?
I've had prominent FNMs asking. They're not even sure.
What his experience is?
They've asked me. I would call names if I could, but I can't. But I could tell you right now, I'm certain that this person is high up in the FNM. They say, you know what? I saw the person. They went to school with me, my classmate. That's all I can tell you in terms of a clue. What is his career path? Now, everyone knows he's a poet. Everyone knows he's a great speaker. But in terms of his leadership, it's always been under question. And so now the Prime Minister is saying to him now, I don't think you're fit to be a leader. Now, let me tell you why they would say that, Shanique Miller. You started off with 7. Now you're down to 5. I question one more to be renominated, which would bring it down to 4.
Who is to be renominated?
Well, me personally, I'm looking at Long Island. I'm not certain he's going to be renominated.
Okay.
I'm looking at 4.
Yes.
So if I'm looking at 4, then I'm asking the question, if you were to remove Michael C. Pintard from leadership, let's take him out of the leadership position, I ask you then, who would be the leader of the FNM? And there's only possibly one more choice, if even that.
Who's that choice?
It can be Adrian White, it can be Adrian Gibson, it can be Kwesi Thompson. There's only 2 more people left. It's Michael Pintard and Shannon Dawn Cartwright.
What do you think of Shannon Dawn Cartwright?
Well, once again, I'm saying if this is the leadership that you desire to have and the leadership that you're looking forward to for this country, and these people were so fanatic about their organization, I have nothing wrong with you being just simply excited about being a Free National Movement member. I applaud you. You are part of the Bahamian fabric. But once again, I've always tried to encourage people to look for greater strengths in your organization. And if this is what is satisfactory to you, where you're saying to us and beyond the headlines, stay out of your business, y'all got this thing handled, y'all have sufficient time, we're going to make this happen. I'm waiting to see the miracle. And now you see the Progressive Liberal Party, Shanique Miller, about to explode on you.
Well, they are exploding. But I'll tell you this. I went on LinkedIn and I pulled up, because, let me try to be fair here.
Yeah, let's be fair.
I'm not sure. Okay, consultant with Hutchinson Port Holding.
Okay, that's incredible.
CEO at Scribes Edutainment, something in the creative space.
But you don't know that one.
No.
Okay.
CEO Congo Town Limited.
You know them?
No.
Okay.
Consultant, Department of Public Service for the Bahamas government.
Okay.
That would be
impressive.
He's been a consultant.
So his profession is that of consultancy.
But isn't that, aren't they high earners? No. Organizational development manager. Even a talk show host and commentator.
Okay. So let's give him the accolades if they are to be so positioned. Now, the question that the Honorable Prime Minister is asking is that sufficient for the Bahamian people to say you have what it now takes?
Is it sufficient?
To be the Prime Minister of this country and to lead this country? Based on your record, is anyone now able to stand and say you were a person who above excellence, you've done a great job, you've been impactful, and we can depend on you to actually lead this nation? That is the question that they're actually asking. In Philip Brave Davis's case of the Prime Minister, he has been a deputy Prime Minister before and a member of Parliament for years. So there's more of a surety in terms of him in his particular role. As for Michael C. Pindart, he was formerly a cabinet minister.
He was a cabinet minister.
And he was the Minister of Agriculture.
2 ministries, yes.
Okay, and he's also I understand, a very noble representative in Marcos. I understand he does a great job there. The question still remains, is this sufficient for him to be the leader of this nation? And this is what the Prime Minister is now asking.
Well, I'll tell you this. So as you heard in the response, Michael Pindart says, listen, man, pressure obviously tall in the PLP for the Prime Minister he said this yesterday, at a men's event, a Progressive Liberal Party's men's event, to all of a sudden bring him up and talk about what he should do and what he shouldn't do. In fact, I'll tell you this, Pindart say pressure so tall and the PLP is just like squirming because they know something that they are not saying quite yet, and that is that the general election is sooner than we think, September or before. Take a listen and then we'll come back and talk about it.
I believe that this is to set up the narrative to convince the Bahamian people that they are extremely busy, and that even though these projects will not be completed by the time of the election, they wish to sell the Bahamian people this dream that, listen, we are in the process of doing many things on your behalf, therefore we deserve another shot. Much of what they're saying, and a lot of what we see them doing, is making a case for election, and we believe that election is likely to be this year, September or earlier. And the direction that the government is presently taking really makes the case that we really need a fixed date for election, so that no man or woman is able to wake up one morning and determine that they're going to call the election on a day of their choosing that's convenient for whatever political games they may be playing.
Well, Garth, you heard it right there. Michael Pindart, of course, leader of the Free National Movement, says, listen, man, the PLP is simply posturing. The PLP went and did a major theatrical, speaking of theatrical performance, I know. The PLP went and did this major performance in Grand Bahama last week.
It was major.
Last week, just really to charm the people of Grand Bahama and by extension the Bahamas by the announcement of the sale, the $827 million sale to the Concord Group and so much more. Is the PLP posturing?
I would say even if they are posturing, let's say that it doesn't even ever take place. I've always said that the strength of governance lies within the royal opposition. You are the people who are responsible for keeping the government's feet to the fire. At this particular point, just respectfully, I do not believe that the Free National Movement has positioned itself at this particular point to challenge the Progressive Liberal Party in any front. The royal opposition themselves has been posturing.
Oh, how so?
What have they done? What have they done sizable enough to say to you that they are even prepared for governance? Let's just say this. He spoke about an early election possibility. Yes?
Yes.
If there is a possibility of an early election, you have not even given yourself a nomination?
No, he's not
I
nominated.
said September.
Yes.
This is now June coming, right?
June.
So it's July, August, September, 3 months. And you have not given yourself a nomination? Not even your deputy?
Yeah.
No nomination. What about your chairman? He's not the CEO, and the chairman of the FNM doesn't have a nomination as yet.
So you were thinking, Garth, that Michael Pintard said, and what he said a moment ago, just to hear himself talk? Because there's no way he believes himself that there might be an early election, certainly as early as September, when he has no candidate out there.
I wouldn't even mention that. That just simply shows you that you yourself, you're not ready for this conversation. The election is a possibility in 3 months' time, and you want to convince me. Guess what their words were to us? We have time. We have time. In 3 months, you still have time to convince us that you're ready, and you have no candidates, not even yourself, and you tell me you have time. You have a whole organization, and you're telling me that the CEO, the CFO, the COO, all of them are out to lunch, but guess what? The company is running well? Come on, man, you got to be kidding me. I mean, I've been saying this from day one, Shanique Miller, that the Free National Movement needs to get up and get the job done. They said to us, they're fine, they're okay. So I'm going to say, can I say this and shoot this over the bow for you?
Yes, go.
Next week, Saturday, they're going to have an event called a fair, the Free National Movement Fair, Aaron Bailey Park. God help them if them people don't show up there. I tell you that. Because when I come back...
But Garth, why would a fair and the turnout at a fair be an indication of where the Free National Movement stands?
Because the purpose of the fair, I would say, would be to have those people who are aspirants to get your associations together, get your fan base together, bring these people to this particular event and support financially, because we're about to go into electoral mode. Electoral mode takes finances, it takes money. This is how the money is going to now be made along with other such events. But if these people are not showing up for this major fair event, then you tell me if they have any support. Tell me if they're ready for an election, if it were even to happen in 3 months' time. If you can't get them to the man, thank you God for not letting me cuss tonight. If you can't get these people to the fairground, how the heck you can get them to the electoral poll?
Well, Garth, you know the FNM just going to really bring everything.
They better bring it.
They're going to bring.
I don't care, bring it.
They will ensure that R.M. Bailey Park.
They better pack it. I'll be back. I'm going on vacation. I know you're so glad I'm gone. But I'll be back on the 5th. And I will get my report. And I want you, I'm trying to say to these people, this is what I'm saying, Shanique. I'm not being hard on them, you know. I'm saying to you people, if you are going to be ready, just be ready. Don't tell us that you're ready. We can see from where we are that you're not ready.
Yeah.
The Progressive Liberal Party at this point is saying, as you said, Shanique, they may be posturing. It's possible they're just posturing. But their posturing was a major event that got the people of Grand Bahamas,
excited,
the people in Nassau, the people throughout America and Bahamians all over the world. So you know what? It's a possibility that the Magic City may now come alive again.
So then do you think it is also the wrong posture to almost sit on the sidelines and say, watch this, like everything else just falls through the crack?
Okay, and so you're doing that, but the majority of Grand Bahama is FNM country. That's what we call it, FNM country. And the majority of people who are going to be there with possibility is FNMs. And so I understand you may not have been able to make the event, but it would have been much more powerful had you made it, because the people of Grand Bahama may say, you know what? At least our party has an interest in us. The mere fact that no one was there to represent or say anything officially, I said that is telling. It's very telling. It's too petty for me.
It's petty.
It's very petty for me.
Well, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to shift gears. We're going to look at the condition at the Registrar General's office. Those people spoke out today. In fact, they protested. We're going to hear more about it from Linton Ritchie right after the break.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Call now to get more of the care you need.
You work hard to provide for and protect the ones you love. However, life can present unexpected challenges. Who you call in times of need matters. Insurance Management is a Bahamian-owned company that has been serving our community for over 40 years, offering a wide range of coverage for all of your personal, professional, and commercial needs. When life happens, rest easy knowing that our skilled and experienced agents are there for you in your time of need, so that you can get back to what matters most. Insurance Management. Nobody does it better.
Need a new car for your business? Well, EV Motors and the Bahamas Development Bank have some news for you.
At the Bahamas Development Bank, we are committed to promoting Bahamian businesses and entrepreneurs. With our green lending program, businesses are able to access up to 100% financing to purchase electric vehicles for commercial and fleet use. We are so excited to partner with EV Motors for this initiative to encourage and empower business owners to drive green.
If you haven't visited our dealership on Tony Williams Starling Highway as yet, we have a wide variety of brand new EVs from some of your favorite brands like Toyota, BYD, and Mercedes-Benz. As the official distributor of Kerry commercial vehicles, we offer a selection of high-performance commercial EVs. Currently, you can purchase the Kerry Cargo Van and the Kerry Elephant Truck, and soon flatbeds and box trucks for all your business needs.
To access up to 100% financing to purchase an EV for your business, you will need to provide us with a few documents: the business plan or executive summary, business license, historical financials, relevant KYC documents, and the vehicle and insurance quote.
With an interest rate of 6.75% and a repayment period of up to 8 years, you don't want to miss this fantastic opportunity.
To apply, visit our website today at bahamasdevelopmentbank.com or give us a call at 702-5700.
7.5 years, but I walk in here all of a sudden, total stranger. I'm calling you Rick and Sheila.
At Island Lock, we take sports seriously. Get ready to experience the thrill of winning anytime and any place. Bet in real time and live the thrill of every play while watching your winnings stack up. It's your chance to score big with fast payouts and a world-class experience. Get in the game and bet the Bahamian way with Island Luck Sportsbook.
If you enjoy watching Beyond the Headlines, take advantage of our exclusive offers with 4 15-minute interview segments at $1,200 and 20 30-second TV ads at $2,000. Contact 557-0258 or 557-0259 for more information. Go beyond with Beyond the Headlines.
This segment of Beyond the Headlines is brought to you by EV Motors. Drive the future with brand new 2024 electric vehicles. EV Motors, powering your journey.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. Well, workers at the Registrar General's Department say they are fed up with their working conditions, which has made a number of public servants ill. They are now calling on officials to step in and make things right. We get the story from Linton Ritchie Jr. and then we come back.
Some people just don't care. We wouldn't ask the Prime Minister of our country to work in this type of condition.
From the outside, the Registrar General's Department may seem to be in decent shape, but step inside and you will find a different story. Stacks of debris, mold-stained ceilings, and layers of dust workers call it hazardous. Bahamas Public Services Union President Kimsley Ferguson claims the Attorney General Ryan Pinder had given instructions for staff to be moved to a new facility just across the street, but says senior management had other plans.
The management of the Registrar General office is still asking persons, at least 6 of them, to work from this office.
Eyewitness News watched as workers navigated cramped conditions, hauling files through narrow passageways, the result of ongoing renovations. Staff say they endure these conditions for hours on end, taking a toll on both mind and body.
Staff on a daily and weekly basis are calling in sick due to the mold and the musty of the old carpet.
Ferguson says to make matters worse, duties of several public servants have been stripped and who's taking over. He claims a contracted company has been brought in to fill the void.
A virtual recording company has now been given a contract for some $85,000 a month to do what public servants can do and have been doing.
Here at the Registrar's General Department on Shirley Street, you're getting a live look at the conditions workers say that they have to endure as they carry out their day-to-day operations. Broken glass, cabinet pieces, plywoods, even nails coming up from out of the woods. They say it's something they can't endure for much longer and they're demanding change.
The working conditions are very deplorable. We were agitating for better conditions now from years ago. It does become a health and safety hazard for the staff.
And if action isn't taken soon, Ferguson says the next move could escalate.
We're going to find ourselves in the front of the House Assembly with placards, agitating and letting persons know the type of behavior that's coming from this particular administration who purport to be labor-friendly.
Linton Ritchie Jr., Eyewitness News.
Well, that's really unbelievable. I mean, to see the conditions. I didn't see any workers, though. I'm just wondering, like, are they there daily? Because I missed it. Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines, Garth Rosborough and Leslie Miller. Leslie, it's good to have you join in. Gentlemen, look at the state of what we saw, in Linton's story. It's unbelievable. I'm wondering where the workers are or were. And it's an old building. If you go there, I mean, I think it's, 4 stories, or maybe 3, I'm not sure. But it's the building has been in a state of mild disrepair, just needing renovations. But what I saw there, I mean, like, what's happening exactly?
We continue to fight the battle of maintenance in our country. We can build, but to maintain always has been an issue. We've heard of cries of mold, back in the day at the Ministry of Education. We've had mold in the old Levy building when we had BAIC there. And we continue to fight this mold infestation. These indoor facilities with the air conditioning continuously going with moisture, the carpet. If it's not cleaned properly, you have mold in the carpet, and people are actually getting ill. It's sad to see this taking place. I don't know if we need to even get someone who's just a professional contractor to ensure that these things don't take place. If we need to have the possibility of just inspections on a timely basis to ensure everyone's safety. I'm not even sure we even care as to the health and safety of our citizenry. I do believe that we do, but maybe we just don't know how. And so I think the government can take an opportunity to go ahead and find an agency or individuals who can assist us in ensuring that this type of environment doesn't exist for our civil servants and our citizenry in the private sector as well.
Listen, life has come full circle with the Registrar General's office. You could attest to that. About 4 years ago, maybe more, a contract was given to the company across the street from where the Bank of the Bahamas is, with that building name. The big boys own that. The square, what do they call it? Huh? The financial center has a contract and has been paid monthly for that building for the last at least 4 years.
So why aren't the people
in
there?
For that building. I don't know, you got to ask them. I know they were being paid, and they're still being paid today for the rental that they were supposed to move in. Because incidentally, another company had that contract, was unceremoniously taken from them and given to their friends. the big white boys. And I'm shocked that the building isn't ready. I'm really shocked because the building they're in, they were supposed to be out of that building at least 2 years ago because the government is paying rent for that building that they're supposed to be in, at least for the last 4 years.
So rent is being paid on the building on the opposite side of the street.
Yes.
But yet the people are not occupying it. The Registrar General's office is not occupying it.
Well, it sounds as if they are occupying it, but they mentioned that 6 people still in the building itself where the Registrar General actually
Whatever
is.
that contractor, who they gave the contract to, obviously they get him out of there. Because if you're going to leave that filth and the building is supposed to be renovating, you're renovating the evenings and on the weekends, eh?
But you're renovating, and then these 6 people need to go in there each day to work.
But they have a building.
Yeah.
That the Bahamian people have been paying rent on.
So I get it.
I can tell you that.
It's the remaining workers, which is only a handful of them,
I don't
who
know
still
how
have
many
to
there
be in that building working and getting things done to transfer over.
I guess
that
so.
have to navigate through that mess.
You see the files
The
are
government
there.
has been renting that building now for at least 4 to 5 years, right across the street at a very steep price, some $65 a square foot. Okay? That, at least for 4 years, at least.
Well, I'm hoping they can actually get that rectified as quickly as possible. But those people actually do have to go back across the street. I saw a lot of files in there.
They still
and they're
have
gonna
to go
and
there.
retrieve those files and, of course, probably bring them across the street. So we're still in a sort of antiquated system. I know we need to digitalize and get everything, on a computer. But, this is a part of the process. But it's a very sad
And I
situation.
trust it'll happen more sooner than later.
And also the
It
sloppy
shouldn't take
work.
more than a week
The
to
sloppy
transfer
work of
those
the
records.
contractors who obviously left those things there, knowing that there's a small amount of people who still have to frequent that building to transfer all those files over to the new location. It really, again, it really
Treasury
should
paying
not
for
be. It should not be.
They should be in
Meanwhile,
place.
I'll tell you better news. You guys, if you can just scroll up, the Davis administration's efforts to develop family islands is gaining momentum. Mayor Guana, for example, transformation is already underway. A multi-million-dollar airport is now being hailed a game changer, boosting connectivity, driving tourism, and paving the way for long-term growth. Mayor Guana certainly needs it. We get the story from Delano Roker.
Mayor Guana remains one of the Bahamas' most remote islands, but that distance may soon feel much shorter. A new $5 million airport, currently under construction, is expected to reshape the island's future. Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper, during a site visit today, said the facility will feature modern amenities designed to accommodate increased airlift, improve safety standards, and support carriers, after years of the project being stalled.
Many people may know that the Mayor Guana Island Development Group had certain obligations, and we are pleased that they stepped forward to fulfill those obligations to the people of Mayor Guana and the people of the Bahamas. We embarked 3 years ago on the Family Island Renaissance program. We are happy that it's happening right now. We're happy that the government was able to facilitate last year the renewal of the approvals to get this project going again. It had stalled for quite some time, and now it's happening, and I know the people of Mayor Guana are pleased.
The project, expected to be completed soon, is a part of the Davis administration's wider multi-island development strategy, a plan aimed at strengthening infrastructure across the Family Islands. Cooper says the goal is to ensure equitable growth, not just in Nassau or Grand Bahama, but throughout the entire archipelago.
Mayor Guana has significant potential, and it is our far-flung member of the family of islands. In our Blueprint for Change, we talked a lot about developing a new port here in Mayor Guana. There is some interest for developments of land and hotels, etc. We believe and we hope that the completion of phase 1 of this facility will be a catalyst for additional investment and additional growth here in the island of Mayor Guana.
The Mayor Guana Airport is just one piece of a much broader plan. Former Tourism Minister Vincent Vanderpool Wallace says the project ties into a long-term vision for sustainable economic development.
There's a reason for that expansion, because if this is kind of a southern hub for what is going to happen in the Bahamas, you have in the north, you have Grand Bahama, in the center, you have New Providence. You need something in the south to get going, and this is it. And the GPM, mentioned obliquely about a port development. That is one of the areas of significant opportunity. This happens to be exactly 800 nautical miles from the Panama Canal directly. And those of you who wish to stay overnight can stay here and go on shore and see cruise ships passing by, container vessels passing by. So it's perfectly within the area that this thing is aimed to target for development.
I'm standing in the departure section of the new airport being developed in Mayaguana. As the Deputy Prime Minister said, this is a grand step in innovation for the island. I'm Delana Roker, Eyewitness.
Good news for Mayaguana, and I wanted to bring that story because for quite some time they have been regulars, residents meening on this show, talking about having to pick up in terms of roadworks. And you all saw the state of the airport, whatever that is, the chicken coop. That stood for an airport for many, many years. And so I love to update whatever is happening in Mayaguana because they have really had to contend with a lot for a long time.
Mm-hmm. I loved it. I had to take my glasses off and wipe my eyes from tears because, that's my mother's hometown. Okay. And I've already called in Michigan and told her she got to bring all the family from the United States. We going down to Mayaguana. I haven't been there myself, by the way, but
You've never been?
I was never going there with that little shack. Not that little shack we call the airport.
Yeah.
But I do know that Mayaguana had the second largest runway for a very long time. I knew of the potential of doing transatlantic flights and landing for cargo. It's an excellent location for a hub. It has excellent soil for agriculture. There are no snakes in Mayaguana, by the way.
No?
No snakes. Wild dogs, a few.
I should move.
And so it's great for things like poultry farming. You talk about your golden yolk, the program we never got. That's a great place for golden yolk and any other yolk you got. And it kind of
so it's a huge,
great
it's
potential.
a huge island.
My mom from Betsy Bay, and listen to me. Listen to me. It reminds me of the days of Long Key.
Long Key.
Where you talk about Fortune Island, where people came from the Panama Canal straight to Fortune Key. It was a great economic hub here in the Bahamas. Mayaguana has that great potential because Haiti is right to the back of Mayaguana, and Cuba is right there. Turks and Caicos is right there. I mean, you talk about some economic boom. I'm just here shivering, and I got tears coming to my eyes. Mayaguana, thank God for Mayaguana. We can make this happen. I'm excited. I'm excited.
It's really a good new day for Mayaguana. I know when we first went to cabinet in 2002, the I group made their presentation. I think we approved it on about 203, 204 to get some things started there.
Mm-hmm.
They gave them a hell of a lot of land. I think some of it was reined in, which was good. And now they have to do what they need to do under the heads of agreement, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Getting the airport done, getting the roads, getting infrastructure that is so vital. I think my good friend Vincent Van der Poel and the group he's with is looking at putting a small canal to complement the Panama Canal.
Mm.
So that can get started. It'll be a hell of a break for Bahamians.
Well, Adams Taylor's, they're building a marina there too. I saw they're building a marina.
To get some good things happening for the island of Mayaguana. It's a big island. It's time for the Bahamians and the Nassauians to head back home if there's activity going on in the island from which they live, including yourself.
I can go. I don't mind.
It's good when you see these things happen on the family islands because you have an opportunity to go back to your boat and make a contribution and enjoy
and get me off beyond the headlines so I can start beating up these people. Yeah, I got it. Yeah. I hear you.
Very tranquil island.
Very good.
It's just really beautiful. Lovely beaches. Really, really awesome. And happy for you, Mayaguana. Gentlemen, I thank you both very much for being here. Of course, when we come back, we're going to shift gears because we're going to talk about a topic that's trending, not just in the Bahamas, but really around the world, and that is immigration.
Yes.
Immigration. And when we come back, former Immigration Minister Ellsworth Johnson will sit next to me and we will talk about what's happening. Is the Bahamas just too loose with its granting of citizenships? We'll talk about that and much more after this.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting tingsybahamas.com.
I am a master plumber by profession. I've been doing plumbing for over 40 odd years. When I was 9 months old, I was diagnosed with polio. To me, living with polio, I took it the way it is. I never allowed my polio to get in my way of anything. In fact, I love when people doubt me, and I just prove them wrong. And let me tell you, in the world, you could only find a plumber as good as me, but you ain't gonna find no plumber better than me. People with disability, they just need a chance. In this program, I feel so encouraged. Most of the mentors have different kind of disability, but disabilities like me. Sharing and caring and showing so much support with people with disability. They would encourage you to go beyond. I wish this was around a long time ago. Right now, I would have been a millionaire. You out there who have a disability, don't be afraid. Take the step. If you believe it, you could achieve it. And remember one thing, ain't no one better than me, and ain't no one better than y'all. God made all us equal.
For more information about how the SBDC can help your small business to make a big impact, give us a call at 461-7232 or visit sbdcbahamas.com.
Take sports seriously. Get ready to experience the thrill of winning anytime and any place. Bet in real time and live the thrill of every play while watching your winnings stack up. It's your chance to score big with fast payouts and a world-class experience. Get in the game and bet the Bahamian way with Island Luck Sportsbook.
Tired of driving around from place to place just to get your car insured and licensed? Frustrated with the process of being back and forth from your insurance company to road traffic? Well, BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers just made insuring and licensing your motor vehicle as easy as 1, 2, 3. Step 1. Visit us at the Road Traffic Department, Section 1, Thomas A. Robinson Sports Stadium. At our office, you can purchase or renew your insurance or get your vehicle inspected. We at BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers represent major carriers. Step 2. See the professionals at Road Traffic to get your vehicle licensed. Step 3. Enjoy your day. Insure with BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers today, saving you time and money. Your one-stop shop for all of your insurance needs. Great rates, convenient, excellent service. For more information, call us at 322-2221.
So you want a space. But not just any space. You need something with a little more potential. So how about 1,000 square feet of room to play with? Superb audio and video production capability, digital LED wall, full lighting grid, and about 124 seats to accommodate a full studio audience with so many other features. Make us your home for your next concert, conference, and so much more. Honestly, the possibilities are endless. Here at ILTV Studios, we'd love to bring your next event to life. So what do you say? Do you want our space?
If you enjoy watching Beyond the Headlines, take advantage of our exclusive offers with 4 15-minute interview segments at $1,200 and 20 30-second TV ads at $2,000. Contact 557-0258 or 557-0259 for more information. Go beyond with Beyond the Headlines.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. It's good to have you tuned in. I tell you, I thought I was going to move away from politics directly, but one of my internal colleagues right in here just handed me something to ask to my next guest, and I shall. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines, former Immigration Minister Ellsworth Johnson. It's really good to have you here. It's good to see you.
It's a pleasure to be here, ma'am.
Listen, I want to ask you this. You know, Prime Minister Davis over the weekend, and obviously in campaign mode, speaking to a room full of PLP men, says, Michael Pintard is not suited for the office, of which he's aspiring to, which is Prime Minister. Are you pleased with his track record, his resume, his CV? Michael Pintard, as he leads the FNM towards a general election, and if so fortunate, become the next prime minister.
Listen, that was the same sentiment expressed about Sir Lyndon Oscar Pinland by the UBP. He didn't have the track record.
What did the UBP say?
Well, he was black. He was a young man just coming back. They saw him as a boy, if you understood. I'm happy that Mr. Miller here. And he just didn't have it. This is a big country. They'd taken everything and owned everything. This young boy can't do it. But he showed them different. In terms of Michael Pintard and the Prime Minister indicating that he's never had a job, I think he owes, and referring to him as being a poet or whatever have you, I think he owes artisans and artists who anthropologists and sociologists all agree are to give our society or societies buoyancy and apology. And it's a reflection of
So you're thinking that the Prime Minister insulted every creative person, every person in that space?
If you think about how we live and how we transport who we are or our identity, it is these people. And it shows a lack of courage to do a strategic analysis or needs assessment in terms of our talent skills. For too long, we have thought about the lawyers and the doctors and certain other persons leading the country. Anytime I meet someone who works for themselves, I call them a hero because they take very little from the country and they give so much. Michael Pintard is an agriculturalist. To my mind, I was on my way here and I saw a young lady who is a Rastafarian, Bobo Time, just in Baintown on the side of the street, conducting her affairs. The people who are in the straw markets, who create the artisan work, who create the product called tourism, they carry this country for years. And so I think in terms of, Sir Lyndon, and I'm happy that Mr. Miller was here, apologized to the country in the twilight of his career. He said, we said that you all should be doctors and all this different thing. We got it wrong. I teach my daughter that the sanitation worker is just as important as the doctor, right? And so no matter where you find yourself in a Haitian village, in Nagua, or Cat Island.
Hold on, a Haitian village, because we come into that.
Just allow me. We're going to get there.
Okay, we come into that.
But you may be in a Haitian village and you may be a citizen. You have, and even if you are not a citizen, you have an obligation to this country. Yes, and we can speak about that, about what you do. So you can give. So to say, oh, he doesn't have a job,
Yeah, but I hear what you're saying, and people could plot straw and become straw vendors and do exceptionally well and send their kids off to university, and their kids become doctors, lawyers, prime ministers, whatever it is that they can become. It's endless for what they can do. But see, we talking something different now. We talking about you going to lead a nation. You cannot say, man, guess what? Don't insult these straw vendors and Bobo Town or whoever this is who said standing on the side of the road and stuff. You don't expect that person. That person has to have to be able to have a certain level of skill, experience, background, track record to actually go and particularly in nowadays, leadership requires so much more than it did even in the days of Sir Lyndon.
Absolutely. So he has made it to the leader of the opposition. I've worked with him in the minister administration. We worked together on the Fisheries Act, where everybody talks about preserving the natural resources. We brought changes to the Fisheries Act where we determined only Bahamians should be. You know what happened to all the guys who sued the government? The majority now have citizenship in the Bahamas and working in the very same industry. So there was a phenomenal thing that he did in the various ministries where he participated, and the people of the Bahamas gave him that opportunity. What I'm suggesting is that when we speak about who is qualified, think about this. And I spoke to someone earlier today. I said, when they call for David, they say, the man came to bless all people. Say, there's nobody. He said, a fellow with the goat. You can't be in him. You don't know where God is in it. And I'm suggesting that he's made it this far. And the people of the Bahamas at the end of the day will decide.
Yeah, but
when we come to the silly season, people say all sorts of nonsense.
Well, we know that.
Forgetting, Shani, that only this morning, an entire commissioner retired because the Minister of National Security confirmed that tons of drugs were being passed through this country. Forgetting that there was a Morin deal for multi-million-dollar deals. And what I want the Bahamian people to focus on is what is purpose-driven to build this country for Bahamians yet
Absolutely,
unborn.
and here's something that is purpose-driven. Thank you so much to my team, who are always, you see me out front, they work with me behind the scenes. And so here's this, the Prime Minister heard you before you even spoke. In fact, he did this a couple hours ago. When I spoke, these are the words of Philip Brave Davis, Prime Minister of the Bahamas. When I spoke last night, I said, give credit where credit is due. Pintard has done well with his poetry and acting, but what has he done to help others? Where was his leadership when he had the chance? It was our administration that gave the Dundas the first ever government subvention, and we have committed to fund it annually. As Minister of Culture, he barely met with them, let alone provided support. And so he's trying to clarify, as you said.
He's backtracking
as
now.
you were saying, he owes.
He realizes now.
You're saying that he owes. He says, looking. He says, looking. He says, and so he
and
says.
As you speak, I'll give names. Eddie Menace.
Yes, he says we are also establishing CAPAS, the Creative and Performing Arts
Stubbs,
School of the Bahamas, something we're extremely proud to deliver. When Pintard was in government, they promised such a school, but never delivered it. Didn't even begin to plan for one.
And to the
Even worse,
greatest
Pintard, the creative, and his government closed
the
the National Dance School. And so he goes on. So there's the Prime Minister.
He's trying now to backtrack because his team, he has a very good team, and they said he made a mistake. You insulted a whole genre of people.
Yes, so listen, well, the team, you all could come and respond to
Shanique,
what it is. Yes, sir.
You need, in any society, when you look at what is happening now in Palestine, what is happening around the world, you know who captures it and brings it to us?
Who?
It's the artists. You know who, if you see me down by the shoreline giggling, and it seems as I'm crazy, because I'm looking at the greatest artist of all, and I said, I've never seen a sunset like this before. The Bible that all of us came to like and don't follow, they were able to craft that in a way to bring those stories and bring them to life. And for too long, that is the reason why we put so much, we deny ourselves, we don't spend on the Junkanores, and we don't invest in it, and we get Carnival and we spend millions on it.
Well, the Carnival people are crying out and saying they're getting no support. I mean, do you think they should get support?
Pardon me?
The people of
Not
Carnival.
before Junkanoo, not before Rake and Scrape.
So I'll tell you this. You must agree, though, that there are levels of artists. That is why some win Academy Awards and some still sitting down there doing Soul Train.
Let me say this.
Right? Remember.
Give me an opportunity.
Okay, go ahead.
And there are those who are part of the building block of the ones who are up there, who have built the industry. I remember the story. A gentleman was playing the snare drum, and he was doing his tongue and doing all that. And a young man came and said, why you got to be so silly when you're doing it? And you know what the old man said? You bring your smart Alec A here to tell me what I'm doing. When I had to be with the white guys and play this way and to create a foundation for you, you come now to tell me what I'm doing. Those old women who taught us how to do the rake and scrape and to dance and who can't speak well and probably didn't have the right odor and all that stuff, they laid the foundation. And that's why you got all of us running around here all playing crazy. It is the artists who built this country. It is those older men, when I walk down Bay Street and I see them properly clad in their suits, I say, stop and say, hey, thank you very much. Because now I see the younger fellas coming out and they look like they're getting ready to rob somebody. I said, we have to create an institute so you could pass it on. And it's not about them being disrespecting themselves. It's the level of respect that they owe to the industry. And they could tell you about it. And so where we may see people on Soul Train and all that, remember, there was somebody who sacrificed for them to go there.
Is this fake news, Ellsworth Johnson? Were you denied a nomination in the Amacroix constituency? Are you hopeful for a nomination?
Let me say this.
This was just sent to me to ask you.
You know how I feel about governance in this Bahamas? We take that constitutional construct of being in the opposition or being in the leading party too lightly. This is about the people's business. I don't speak about my party's business, but I haven't been denied one. I have
By
offered.
the way, that wasn't a politician that sent that to me. That was a colleague.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I've made the application. I've gone through the process. I've gone through the process for Yamakra, and nobody has denied me absolutely
You're
anything.
looking-
as
you're
well
looking
as
at
nobody's
Yamakra.
given me anything.
You're
I'm
looking at Yamakra,
Yamakra,
yes, yes.
And if they decided they don't want me, naked I came, naked I will return. But I notice one thing: I'm going to do as best I can to serve the people who've created. I mean, God has used to make me the man that I am.
Well, let's look at this. You're quite outspoken about immigration matters, not because you're the former minister, but obviously you've developed an even bigger passion for it since serving as minister. And you're calling for an immigration system that properly grants citizenships through limited access and based on what the country needs.
More than just that. I think the current disposition of immigration may present a threat to national security. And I'm not speaking about the people we have to deal with economic migrants. We have to properly situate the persons who come here to work. But then look at Bay Street, a place that was guaranteed for Bahamians. East Indians control it.
No longer is.
And their children are in the best schools. There are those that we now call the untouchables, that open restaurants wherever they want.
Who are they?
Open rum shop wherever they want.
The Chinese?
Yes, we call them the untouchables.
Oh, they are, really?
Yes, because they seem to do whatever they want.
Well, whatever they want, wherever they want,
and they're
yes.
buying all the land. Just allow me to extend, and I see Mr. Leslie Miller here, Bum Shack, he knows him by that name. He was not feeling well. I brought his book here tonight, and he spoke about generation property, something that is known to us and everybody speak about. And I hear Mr. Davis talking about who didn't have a job. We talking about who don't have a job as lawyers, we still can't get on the list to get mortgages and conveyances. And we still know who control the legal industry, right? So we have to work on that. So I want to say prayers for Mr. Hanna, but generational property. How do we deal with that as we look at land reform?
But why?
and protect
So then,
something for
speaking of
Bahamians?
land reform, why has administration after administration ignored, turned their head from, or just failed
Because
in this regard?
Even though we had those ladies who went to prison, and the Progressive Liberal Party, with my father, pardoned them, Mr. Miller knows the story, and they couldn't find the file. They promised to name the school after the ladies. Land was always a thing for power. And that is why one of the greatest thefts occurred in this hemisphere when they came and they just took it. And then the genocide began. And then the crown determined who they will give it to. And so you had persons after the gentry and the persons left, the locals went on the land because they were slaves, they never got paid. And they took it. And so Melvin Seymour tells a beautiful story of his grandfather who couldn't see and go fishing, but he tells you about the story of the property and how generations came to accept that it belongs to them. And everybody in Canada accepts it. But we haven't had the courage to right-size something that was used for voting, because how many pieces of property you had you could vote that amount of time. Something that was used to oppress us in the most insidious way, because they work you, they beat you, they rape you, they do all those different things on the property. And they took the wealth, extracted it, underdeveloped the Caribbean and Africa, and they took it to Europe.
Well, let's
and so
talk
when we have an opportunity now
Yes.
to recognize something and create something that is local, that is us, we refuse to do it.
But we are also, including when you were Minister of Immigration, we are ignoring something to right size, as you say. In certain parts of New Providence, just New Providence, for example, other nationalities have taken ownership and not even lawfully. How do we correct that? How do we correct that aspect of where immigration has gone wrong?
I'll tell you, we started to give a yearly report that has stopped. We then had a secret shopper program, mystery shopper program, so I could know what's happening. We put cameras in the place. Very quickly, when I got there, you had a multi-million-dollar contract for digitization, and they didn't have the contract. We got the contract, got a group in together, met with the service providers, and very quickly we digitized. What we were intending to do, and it should have already been there, where every application can be made online like you do in the US, and you pick it up somewhere else. And see, the problem with us now is these designations are for sale. Everybody is an immigration agent, or professional, and we're selling these designations.
Well, what about the designations where people have just taken ownership and decided they're going to squat and just be there and created shopping malls, makeshift communities and all the rest of it? Cowpen Road, for example, I want to have you back and I want to hear what your thoughts are about this, because you mentioned about sovereignty and if we don't, and what used to be and now what is. And so, okay, you mentioned what the white men did. Well, these ones black people have allowed to now exist and become rooted exactly what's happened. And so how do you address that? How do you address that?
I see Mr. Miller those here, and that's why I speak to it. And when I speak as a nationalist, understanding what my party's position would be, what the other party's position would be, but I have an obligation for the short time I'm here to say that, say to the Prime Minister that you're wrong, that you are to show the respect to the artists and artisans that they deserve, because without them we wouldn't have what we have, and also to preserve what is our legacy.
To be continued.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Ellsworth Johnson, former Minister of Immigration, former Member of Parliament for Yamakro, and also hopeful in the upcoming general election. Thank you once again. Thank you at the top of tonight's show, Garth Rosborough and Leslie Miller. And I want to thank all of you this evening for tuning in. Certainly enjoyed having you along, and I look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow evening. For the entire Beyond the Headlines team, I'm Shanique Miller. Make it a great evening, everyone.